All right, so we're going to talk about storefront locks real quick. A lot of times we get a fire, we say we need to get inside here. My plan A is going to be break the glass, when actually there's some other things that we could do that's probably a little better for the business owner and actually better for us as well. We have Knox keys for all these businesses. So if we're just doing an alarm investigation, smoke investigation, something like that, and it's locked, just using the Knox keys is going to be the first and easiest way to get this open, because then we can secure it and not have any damage. But where guys start to get off from that Knox keys and say, oh, we gotta get in here fast. There's a fire there, we gotta search this real quick. Or there's a fire inside, I'm just gonna go ahead and break the glass and get inside. In actuality, the new tools that we're carrying, the Max Rex, has a lock pulling device on it. So with this, I can just simply slide this over. My other fireman can hit me in with the axe and we can pull this locking mechanism out. We want to be careful not to shear off the head, because what we really need to do is get into the locking mechanism back here. Once we get this cylinder out, you can see what we got inside. And this is just simply an Adams Wright pivoting deadbolt. With the pivoting deadbolts, we open this now by pressing down on the cylinder and moving it over, and then we're in. So in about 18 seconds, we can pull this lock, open that, completely keep this door intact. We're not worried about this bar, we're not worried about the glass, and then when we're done investigating or we're done fighting the fire, we can simply relock this, put the cylinder back in as a dummy cylinder, and then everybody thinks it's still locked. If we've got a little more time, we can use a pair of modified channel locks. And this is a nice little tool that I made. It's channel lock 422. The 422 means it's curved, but on some of these cylinders, you can just grip onto it and spin it right out. Like I showed you, this is just held in and threaded. These are thin threads. Brass is really soft. It's held in by one set screw. So if we can break that set screw, we can open it up. And our main thing is we don't want to get this all jacked up and stuck in there, because we need to get to this Adams Wright cylinder. So let's look at which one we've got here. There's two types of pivoting deadbolts. This pivoting deadbolt is a hook. And we'll move down to the next door, and the next pivoting deadbolt that you have is actually like a bar. And I'll tell you why that makes a big difference. Let's walk over to this. So this is your other type of pivoting deadbolt. It's the straight bar. And you can notice it's about twice the width of the hook. If we look in this one, we pull this cylinder out, and 5 to 7, 7 to 5 isn't where the mechanism is. It's actually upside down. So we're 2 to 11 or 11 to 2. Now let's look at how this is kept in. We've got two different types of cuts here. This type of cut is for the pivoting deadbolt that's a hook. As it's engaged, it goes up and hooks under here. That way, if we tried to gap it, we're not going to be able to open the door. This type of hole is for the pivoting deadbolt. That's the full width. So as it opens up, it goes into here. And remember, the one that's that bar, the one that goes in here, is double the width, so we can't gap it and create enough space to get this opened. So now we come up to this storefront. Obviously, if we've pulled the lock, we can just manipulate the Adams Wright lock and open this up. But say, for whatever reason, we've sheared the cylinder off and we can't access that. The next go-to that we want to do is we want to gap it so that we can see what we've got to work with. In this instance, we gap, and what we can see is we've got the hook, but this hook was installed on an incorrect door, or with the incorrect cut, which allowed the hook to actually just be spread by the gap. Remember, as we showed before, this type of cut is for the pivoting deadbolt that's one piece, which is double the width. So because of a locksmith screw up, we were able to just gap this door and get in, even though it's not a slam latch or a dead latch. We come over to this storefront, and from the outside, it pretty much looks the same. We've got our brass cylinder, we've got a storefront door. But what's indicating that we might have something different here is we've got, this is called a dead latch right here, or a slam latch. We see that on the inside. So that means we've got a different kind of locking mechanism that's on the inside here. With this one, this is even shorter than the other two pivoting deadbolts, which allows us the opportunity to gap the door and slide that out of its keeper. The other thing this type of lock allows you to do is to do a shove knife. That being the case, a lot of times when you go to a business, you're going to see a guard over here, and if you can't see the dead latch, that guard might indicate that you've got a short latch. In that case, try to go above or below the latch to get enough gap to get that door open. Other option, just like in the other pivoting deadbolts, is to pull this cylinder. And what it looks like from the inside, this looks a little different than the other Adams Wright locks. This is one that's pulled. And if you look right here at that thing, this is what we move over. And you can do this with your finger, or you can do this with the pike of the Halligan, or you can do it with the K-tool. And we just slide that to the side and open up. So you can see how short this one is compared to our other two deadbolts. Okay, so now we've got a different type of storefront. With this one, we've got a little bit of a guard here, but don't let it fool you, because this is still just going to pull out the same way, because we can get to our cylinder right here. If you try messing with this isn't going to go anywhere. The other thing on this one is if we try to gap it to see what we got going on, you can look, and there's nothing here. So we don't have a pivoting deadbolt, which means that we've got something at the top and at the bottom. So the only way to get through this one is going to be pull the cylinder or break the glass. So we go ahead, pull the cylinder, but then if you look in here, it's not the dead latch style, and it's also not the Adams Wright typical where you push down and go 5 to 7 or 7 to 5, 7 to 9. We've got a little bit of a circle type thing in here. So in this one, we want to push. You can see where this is. We want to push this down, and that'll open the door. This manipulates. I don't know if you can see the top. And then as we close it, it latches itself again. So you just need to, again, push in, down, and we're in. Go. So this type of door has pin hinges. You can see we've got a little bit of a gap up here, and this just sits on a nub down here. This is pretty far down the list of my go-tos for getting inside. This pin is spring-loaded. So with one Halligan up here, we can gap it enough to get this pin out, and we can pull this door out of the door frame enough, so with the other Halligan, we can stick underneath enough to get off the nub and pull this door actually from the hinge side. That's what we've done over here on this door. Here you can see spring-loaded. So if we can get a little bit of enough gap here to get this down, to get this out of its keeper, we can lift up on this side, and here you can see how small that nub is. And we can lift that up. Truth being said, this took 2 Halligans and quite a few minutes to open up, so it's going to be pretty far down my list. So to summarize, my go-to is going to be Knox keys. If I need to get in quick, I'm going to pull the lock cylinder. If that doesn't work, I'm going to gap the door and try to get it to slide past the keeper. If that doesn't work, I'm going to gap the door, plunge cut with the K12. Last case, I'm going to go hinge side or just break the glass.